BT's Business Report is sponsored by Dynamic Funds.
Good morning. It's time now to say a very good morning to Mike Eppel for the latest in business news. Mike, yesterday, of course, the Bank of Canada released a no interest rate hike, which is great. But you did mention yesterday that we could see some hikes next year. I didn't know it was going to be this many. Like, it's a handful now. Could be this.
We've gone from 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds here with the change of tone from the Bank of Canada. Good morning, Tammy. And, you know, it was not that long ago that our central bank was saying that inflation is something that won't last too long. They kept using the term transitory, temporary. And we'd heard this from all of the central banks, really. But what's happened? Well, look, the price for oil has skyrocketed. The price for everything else has gone up in lockstep, and life has gotten more expensive. And the inflation rate at its highest level in 18 years last month is expected to climb this month and into 2022. And Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem now saying, yeah, price pressures are going to continue here in the short term. And as a result, they're talking now about raising interest rates for the first time post-pandemic, if you want to call it that, in the first half of next year. And it, again, wasn't that long ago. Interest rates aren't going to be raised before 2023. So we're a year ahead of that. The market's pricing in 5 interest rate increases next year of 0.25% each time. So you're looking at a dramatic change potentially here in the mortgage market. If we're talking about fixed rates versus variables are going to go up as the Bank of Canada hikes rates when they start to do that. So all of a sudden, you know, and I think, you know, we've actually just talked about this week, the predictability of what happened as the economy cratered in the pandemic and how quickly things would recuperate. And it is almost impossible to predict at this point, as this has been proven, right? So now 2022, borrowing costs could be on the rise. What kind of a change is that going to make to the real estate market? I mean, you're still going to see lots of demand. Will prices moderate? There's just the ripple effects this could be massive.
Yeah, it could be. And as you said, those people with variable mortgages and other loans that are dependent on variable rates, well, just get ready. You got to be prepared now, right?
So here you go. Do you lock in now at a 5-year that's fixed?
Yeah.
Because you're thinking that the variable in a couple of years' time will be more expensive than the current 5-year posted. That's going to be. Talk to your financial advisor, please.
Talk to your financial advisor. Good advice. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Energy sector starting to rebound. Seeing a positive note there.
Yeah, sure is. A year ago, you couldn't give away oil, and today it's above $82 a barrel. And the energy companies are seeing profitability. Last year, they were all losing money. This year, not so much. Suncor, Canada's biggest energy producer, which owns Petro-Canada, made $877 million in profit, and it's doubling its dividend to 42 cents per share. So, you know, we talk about the lack of investment, new money going into the energy trade, but that's raising the price for oil, which is bolstering profitability. So round and round it goes. And of course, the price of the pumps is up around $1.50 per liter as of this morning. Right. And again, it's this old thing. If you want to offset what you're paying for gas, buy some energy stocks by the looks of it.
Again, it's that cycle. We go next to, speaking of at the pumps, cars. So Ford, General Motors. I remember Steph Henry actually doing a story about this maybe a year and a half ago, talking about these shortages for the chips, for the computer chips for vehicles. And this is really an issue now that's going to continue for a bit.
2023. Again, the fearless forecast by, in this case, Ford Motor Company, saying they're seeing the supply chain issues for the next year and a bit. General Motors was sort of saying the same thing with its earnings update yesterday. The dealership lots are, in some cases, empty or very close to it. But the profitability of these companies actually hasn't been dented too much because they're selling vehicles at list price. There's no discounts. They can sell their most expensive ones at a pretty good profit margin. So again, supply demand does factor in. But yeah, if you're in the market for a new car or truck, might have to wait a little bit. And hopefully this doesn't lead to more production shutdowns that we did see earlier this year in the Canadian auto sector.
All right, and we're getting earnings from a couple of tech giants later on today.
Yes, the two of the biggest.
Yes.
Apple,
Yes.
Apple and Amazon report earnings after the close
Not
of
big at
trade
all.
today. No, Apple is right now just a smidge ahead of Microsoft as being the world's most valuable company. Microsoft yesterday spiked because it had stellar earnings. Apple is worth, I think, $2.42 trillion as of this morning. Amazon is also a $1 trillion company. Just keep getting more valuable, I suppose. And the earnings are going to be they're going to be massive.
Going to be crazy.
That's my fearless forecast.
And I think you're right.
They're going to make a lot of money.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Right on the nose. All right. Thanks very much, Mike. We'll chat with you tomorrow.